Hello everyone, this is the Two Young Men channel right here, and right now we're going to talk about another Cinema 4D tutorial about how to just, fit in this is an example of a wood texture, but any kind of texture, to make it, just import a texture into the Cinema 4D scene, just mask an object with a texture, and just make it a little realistic. So we're going to talk about a topic, something like that. So, as you can see, I just, opened up some kind of a wood texture that is about, which is saying 4,000, over 4,000 pixels. So it's some kind of a high quality wood texture right here. And now we're going to import this thing, into some kind of object that we call, something cool. Alright, so, I'm not sure if we're going to actually, post this agreeable scene that we have actually created, because I have actually blew off the actual agreeable making video recorder right here. I just found out that this only includes the actual only the actual material scene that we're gonna do. But however, this looks actually cool, and with some lighting material purposes, we're just gonna make another nice looking actual scene as agreeable. So here's how to do agreeable scene right now. Alright, so we're gonna get a sphere, and any segment is okay. So we're gonna just set to 26 segments. So at least more than one segment, then it is fully okay for you to actually do that. So in order to do that, just get a sphere, just make it editable. After that, you go to polygon selection mode, and after that, you have to just select every other polygon, and then in order to do that, you can just do Control. I think it's Command A. Yeah, Command A, or also Control A would do it if you're on a Windows. But for me, I'm a Mac, so I'm just doing Command A. So after you've selected every single polygon that exists on the sphere, you can just go Control A again. You can just select the Extrude button. After that, just go into offsets, just fit into 10 centimeters, variation 140%, and after that, here's the important part. You have to turn off preserve groups in order to just give it a little agreeable kind of scene. After you turn off and you press enter, you can see that you get some kind of irregular agreeable scene patterns. Most of you will know this, most of you don't, so if you do not know it, it may be some kind of information that will help you. So another one at 30%, and then they'll just give us a small little variation to it. Maybe we could do it more, so like 15 centimeters, 130, there we go. After that, a more cooler way to do it is to just extrude enter, and just give it about 3 centimeters of Y length. Maybe 4. We'll do it smaller. I'll just go with 3. After that, just go extrude and just move it inward, so like -4. And you can see that there's some variations to it, so it's just going to be something like that. You can do -8, and then it'll just go much more steeper or much more bulgier, and you get this kind of random variation that it's going to give. Alright, so we have actually created a agreeable-ish sphere, as we can see, and we're just going to cover a wood texture that's we're gonna import. So okay, so we're just gonna import a wood texture into this thing. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Okay, so we've got some kind of wood texture into it. Alright, so we're just gonna import this thing. Very good, very fine. And if we render this thing, we see that we get some kind of wood texture, obviously. And this looks nice, although this UV mapping is quite glitchy a little bit. So well, we can just give it a frontal mapping in order to give it a nice looking color map. So sampling, not this. We're just gonna go into this color scene and reflectance. I'm not sure about that, but mix mode model. Let's see. Sampling can be none. Maybe a circle. I think I was looking for a circle. No. Alright, there we go. So we click the tag button right here. We're not gonna just do okay, I think we need one, not the font tag. If I do that, it's just gonna go a little bit more simpler. We're just gonna go to maybe, let's see, let's try it spherical and let's just see how this works. Okay, not that easy. So we're just gonna go with frontal. So frontal will give a nice background texture that won't be that kind of scaly, so it's going to be frontal. So it's just going to look like it's going to jitter the camera, but however it's a nicer quality, as I could say. So like, even though you put it like this, there's some kind of wood texture right there. Well, you can do that, or you can just do camera mapping. Not that good. Flat. We get something like that. I'll just go with frontal for a sec, and let's just see how this goes. Alright, so if we just render it for a sec, we can see that this is a nice wood texture. But however, if we render a little bit closely down, you can see that it is not that pre-realistic. It looks just like some kind of shape with a coating of some kind of a wood texture. We're just going to do UVW mapping, and we'll see after that how this goes, and you get some kind of jittery part right there. And, well, this is a small agreeable scene that we're going to do. Let's try it spherical, and let's just see how this works. Okay, it's a little bit better, and then as you can see, we get this kind of jittery part. We're just going to go frontal, and we'll just see how this goes. If we go into far side view, it's just going to be alright. Alright, so after that, we can see that it's not realistic. So in order to do this thing, we have to delete, first of all, the default specular. And after that, you're just going to give a big reflection. And after that, you're just going to switch to about 49% of reflection. Now, color is this, and just leave it like that. And reflectance, though, you have to copy the actual texture channel. So you're just going to right click, copy, and go to reflectance, and you're going to go to layer color and go to textures, and you say right click, paste. As you can see, we'll get a nice wood texture that's going to be in. We're just going to disable specular. We're just going to decrease a little bit of reflection. I'm just going to, oops, not bad. We're going to do something like that. I'm just going to, let's see, we're just going to do this bump strength thing. And as we can see, it's got a little bit much more realistic than it is. So we're just going to go into a closer view. I know the frontal space is a little bit jittery, but as we can see, we've got some kind of a reflection that is going on here, and also it is rendering pretty slower than before. But however, we've got some kind of reflection that is in. Alright, one thing that is also bugging me about is that you can do a bump channel, and then it'll make it much more better. So we can go to textures, and you can just paste the actual wood texture, and you're just going to say it's going to be high or it's going to be low. Now, low strength is that you see the black, you know, the cracks. Is the cracks going to bulge up, or if it's going to be positive, it's going to bulge down. So I'm just going to take it like that, and after that, just go with 63%, and just render it, then it's just going to look a little bit more better while we're going to see this. It's going to be a little bit rough looking, but however, it is a little bit better. Alright, so that's that. We're going to go with UVW mapping, and it is pretty nice too. So we're just going to stick with UVW mapping because the camera is hurting my eyes. So yeah, so we're just going to get this kind of wooden cube and just give it a nice scene. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. So we're going to get a nice light. Just going to go to this guy's selection tab, and we're just going to angle a camera. Say something like that. And we're just going to paste the camera, and we're just going to get it out, and we're just going to get a light. We're just going to get a light, and just keep it somewhere near a distance. And after that, we're just going to give it some kind of area shadow. We're just going to give it a visible Wait, not invisible, I guess. I don't know. We're just gonna give some kind of visible volumetric light. And after that, you're gonna go to details. I think it's details. And you're gonna go with fall off. Now, fall off, is very important when we're just going to do a realistic light. Because, fall off means that, well, if there's no fall off, that means light. If there's, like, a bright sunlight, and it's reflecting your own room, you can see that in a normal world, you can see that, there's some shade, shadows, and a lot weaker kind of light source, light reflectance that a, surrounding is in. That means that the light is slowly decaying as it bounces. But without a fall off, the brightness and the strength of light is just going to be constant. And it's just going to be non-realistic because of that. So we're just going to go into inverse square, which is physically accurate. So, this is too bright. So, it's just going to be somewhere near here. And after that, it's just going to, what is it? It's just going to decay over time. So we're just gonna go to camera and we'll just see how this looks. So we get some shadows in and we get some things in, something like that. We're just gonna get a overhead kind of thing since we do not have a Grayscale Gorilla's softbox. We're just going to give it somewhere like that, and instead of omniscient lights, we're just going to give it some kind of a flashback light. So we're just going to do that, and it's just going to give some shadows right there, and not much, but it's going to give some things like a bright side and some kind of light that's going to go in. Okay, so we've done that. I'm just going to rescale that to a, not flat, but a frontal spacing. We're just going to get some textures all, getting a little pretty nice. Alright, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to go Fresnel and just going to do dielectric. We're just going to get the strength a little bit less. Something like that. I don't know. So we're going to get a Fresnel and just get a color coding shape right on action. So as we can see, we haven't got any specularness, but we get some kind of woody kind of textures. So that is also good. So we can get a very realistic kind of wood texture. If we just give it a little forward and render it down, you can see that there are some bumps and there are some realistic wood coating on it, and it looks pretty darn real, except for like the actual lights and all that stuff. There's no scene on the background that can actually support more realisticness. However, this is nice too, so we're just going to insert some kind of background. So after, we're just going to change, this makes my head hurt. We're just going to change a, oh, not a floor actually, we're just going to get a background. So, background, and we're just going to create some kind of gradient. So we're just going to do that, luminance, gradient, and just go here, and, oops, okay, we're just going to do that, and just going to be radial, oops, let's see, I think it's circular, yep, circular, I'm just going to, oops, sorry, I'm just going to do some kind of a grayish kind of texture into a black kind of texture. So like we use kind of like that, but it's just a little bit darker, and we're just gonna give it like something like that. After that, we're just gonna drag it to the background, and let's see how the actual background looks. So we're just gonna get some kind of a nice looking background texture. And as you can see, like the outermost parts are what's the camera is not angling through. But however, if we insert a background, we can see that this is a very realistic wood texture. So yeah, this is a success, and we just created some kind of wood texture for Scratch, and it's looking very nice. And I think I'm just going to put it into my own another desktop collection in order to just give it a nice look at it. And it's very nice. Inserting a nice background into it makes it a little bit better. So we created a light in Scratch, and wow. So we're done for it, and thank you for guys for just following this tutorial. And you can now just import some main texture, wood texture, and you can just make it very realistic. Just remember to actually give it a bump, maybe, and just give it a reflection with a lot of roughness and low reflection strength, no specular, and 100% bump strength, and just give it a layered color with some textures. The color, just leave it like that, and maybe just give it a nice frontal view projection while you're trying to do that. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. This was pretty nice success. And if you have any more questions, if you have any more suggestions that we're going to put, let me know in the comments below. Well, subscribe if you liked it, like or dislike if you're not, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial or the next video. Alright, so this was the end of C4D tutorial.